Pickaxe.
Join us at patreon.com/castparty for a whole plethora of exclusive goodies. 5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord, where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, casting crew.
Welcome, cast and crew, back to Nocturne, a Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D, or on my personals at Rye.McManus, and I am joined today by my lovely cast and crew, ready to be reunited with our boy Ricky. We have Vince.
Hi, I'm playing Theren, the man of hope seeking retribution. You could find me at all my socials at Dr. Stoice. It's like Blastoise without the blah.
We got Christian.
Hi, I'm Christian. I play Enzo, a big guy with a cat, and I want it on record that I never trusted Ricky, and I still don't. We don't know what's going on, but it's shady, and I don't like it. This place is spooky. You can't find me on my socials because I'm hiding under a rock, but maybe I'll hide, I don't know. I'm in attics these days, so check yours. I might be up there.
We got May.
Hi, I'm May, and I'm playing Zielle, who's here to slay in all meanings of the word. And I think it's so funny that Vince and Christian come in here so peppy, so much like golden retriever energy, and then play these serious men.
Just the fruitiest, the broodiest characters.
Vince is just over there cheesing, and I'm like, I know he's about to start like brooding and saying no to everything that I say. So I am on Team Ricky. That is all.
Well, where can we find you and your husband, Ricky?
Well, I guess at his tower. When I'm not at his tower or one of my other husband's places, I am May LaFay on social media.
We have a big one tonight, everybody. I just want to let you know, because we have Jose, who is back for his, call it 2020th intro, baby.
Hey, yo, say it ain't so.
Wow.
Hey everybody, this is Jose coming at you from my 20th episode. I'm just coming with good energies, best beard in Velaki, playing Alizzato. You can find me at DM Jose G on all socials, and hopefully soon on the YouTubes. We'll see how the life treats us. Anyways, back to you, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. And finally, we have Betty.
Hello, my name is Betty. I play Dahlia, your constellation of melancholia. You can find me at Betty the Beholder on all socials.
All right, with intros out of the way, let's get this poem out of the way so we can jump into the game. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey, you awoke level 6, and for Theren's sakey, nothing spooky occurred throughout the night, but knowing you were going shopping gave you quite the fright. Theren? You all met up at the Beast's Rose and met Lottie and Gilly, but Zielle quickly froze. While discussing designs, Enzo pointed out his thank you note, but one hanging over top put a lump in Zielle's throat. For Vasily had been here, just a few days prior, to commission his masquerade fit, some truly extraordinary attire. With designs in hand and everyone's measurements taken, you all departed the Beast's Rose, but Zielle had one more thing to partake in. She stopped by Blinsky's and persuaded him quickly to let her bring Piccolo back to your good pal Ricky. And that's exactly where you went. Heading north out of town, a tower awaited, and once your feet hit dirt ground, Ollie and Dahlia began to yap about what remains, learning a bit about each other and your purpose on this plane. And then you saw it, amidst a cold mountain lake. Ricky's cart by a decrepit tower, but where lies his fate? Ahead of you all, the tower stands 80 feet tall. It is just down this causeway, so you all have a moment to chat if you need to before you walk up to the tower. Though from here, you can see it has 4 levels, each probably about 20 feet high, and a mostly intact slate tile roof. The second and third floor from here you can see have arrow slits, along with the 4th floor. The tower's utmost level, however, the 4th floor, along with those arrow slits, have window boxes. and the utmost floor overhangs the levels below it. You can see from here as well, along the leftern side sits rickety scaffolding that looks like it could ascend to maybe the second or third floor. You see it begins to wrap around the stone tower, though you can't tell how high it goes from here.
Well, I think we should just go knock.
I could make myself into a raven and fly up there if you guys wish for me to see, but if I do, that's just going to drain more energy that perhaps we might need, so I just want to be conscientious of that.
Don't think there's any need for that. He gave us this, and she'll pull out the sun pendant. It's the only thing we have that has done anything to Straw.
No, it's very nice. I sort of wonder where he got it in the first place and why he's just sort of handing it out. But that could just be because I am being biased and not giving him a fair shot. It just, his tower looks a bit spooky and the cart is sort of...
Do you blame his judgment in giving it to me?
I think he made a great decision. You know what? I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to stop talking and we're just going to go knock on the door, is what it sounds like.
Well, Theren hasn't learned how to knock yet, but...
Theren gets a little red in the face and starts marching right up to the door. Tell me I can't knock. I'll show you out how to knock.
No. Grab his arm. We can grab his arm.
Dahlia has, on a dirty 20 stealth check, snuck away from the group and gone to the edge of the water and walked in. And if you turn to go toward the tower, you see her just like back floating in the water.
Wait, does she look dead?
Kind of.
Like a corpse is about to wash up on the side of this lake.
She's just floating. She's just hanging out.
If Enzo turns and sees you just floating in the water, first thought is not great, especially if it doesn't look good. I don't know. Do I have to roll something for, like, if I can tell that I think she's alive?
Dahlia, give me a deception check just for funsies.
Yeah.
Enzo, give me survival.
Oh,
What is it, Betty?
that's a nat 20 on the die.
Yo,
It's not for me.
And
It
that's
is not for
20 on
me.
the
So I think you're dead.
die.
100%.
as you are looking at the body of Dahlia floating in this lake, she was just yapping Ollie's ear off this entire walk up here. They had a conversation that seemed pretty deep and intimate with one another. All of a sudden, you get to this tower in the midst of this mountain lake, chilly water, and you look over and she is on her back, sprawled out, floating because of the waves in the lake slowly rippling her body. You don't even notice that she's actually breathing due to the motion of the lake. So you think she is completely still.
Enzo, who is turning towards the tower, sort of following everybody, sees Dahlia and just goes, "No!" and just full sprints through the water, high knees, just splashing the whole thing. And he's just gonna try and like yank you out of the water and take you towards the shore unless something happens to like stop him. But he is full sprint, dedicated to this action.
As you sprint toward her, she down under the water. And you can't see her.
Has you? I think something's in the water and it's killing you.
We're just watching.
She is gonna kind of pop up behind you out of the water, like hair streaking, very grudge, right? Like hair like matted down across her face, right? What are you doing?
He sort of like does the double take and he like points and gestures to like where you were and starts a lot of words and finishes none of them. Just gonna walk to the tower. What were you doing? I thought you were not okay. Or you just were swimming or something.
I think I know this place, but I can't remember how. So I was trying to see if I remembered anything.
Did that help?
No, it didn't. But I feel better.
He just sort of grins and shrugs. That's a plus.
Are we just barging in?
Knocking. It's called knocking, Theren.
Yeah, just do it like I did.
I'll knock my own way.
Foot down.
Just let me do it.
No. Is Theren really going for the door, or is he just angry walking away?
Right for the door. You tested
And we're
him.
just on like this narrow causeway in the water?
Correct.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I'm trying to stop Theren. I don't want him to kick the door down or do his Theren thing because we're trying to be nice. I want to try and grab him, but he's walking pretty aggressively and we're on this narrow causeway, so I don't know. Should I just roll odds or evens to see if we're going in the water, or should I roll a check?
I think you should just go for the water. That's just the best decision. I think there's only.
I don't think Zielle would try, but I think there's got to be a chance that we end up really in the water.
Is Theren trying to resist is my question here.
Oh, that's true.
Absolutely.
All right, we are smacking a grapple check here then.
Strength or
you are
athletics?
acrobatics, Zielle, and Theren is acrobatics or athletics, his choice.
Okay, fine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's athletics for Zielle, and then
Yes.
athletics or acrobatics for Theren. That's my apologies. I got them mixed up.
What'd you roll?
I didn't roll yet.
I did.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a lucky 13 plus 6 is 19.
Damn, girl.
5 altogether.
Let's go.
Theren, as you begin to storm down the causeway, you are entering a more narrow portion of the causeway leading up to the island, a small strip of dirt, sand, and rock. And all of a sudden, you feel Zielle's arms around your waist. You are tackled. Zielle, roll me a d20 or whatever odds.
no.
You are on land, even you are in water, depending on how
no.
hard Theren thrashes.
Wait.
No.
It's 9.
Odd, you are on land. Okay, so
Lucky dog.
Theren, you are steadfast in your march towards this tower to where Zielle uses that momentum and just tackles you around the waist, football style, and you faceplant straight forward.
Sorry,
She's just on top of me on my back.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. He's nice. Theren, he's nice. I didn't mean to make you mad. I was being funny.
You feel a little tap on your shoulder, and when you look behind you, you just see Baron sitting on you, just like crisscross applesauce, just waving. Hi.
See, Baron agrees with me. Listen, and I can't get up until Baron gets up because Baron's on so I guess someone else is gonna have to knock. I will.
We're going up to the door.
Dahlia, I will say, as you got out of the water first, as you went behind Enzo, let me get a perception check from you as you walk towards the door.
Absolutely. I have a question for you as well.
What's up?
Would I have ever interacted with Ricky before?
No.
Gotcha. That is a 23.
There's a couple things you notice as you walk up to the tower and you get a little closer off of this causeway. As you make way more onto the island portion of the tower itself, you notice that the rickety scaffolding does lead up to about the 3rd floor, though it seems a little cautious. You notice scattered throughout one of the trees, dead, empty branches, as well as sitting on a cart. Some are perched on the stone tower itself. You count a total of 7 ravens.
7 ravens.
As you make your way towards the door, you see it is completely made of thick iron with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol. You see it's a connected line with 8 almost stick figure-like drawings set around it. Above the door, you see carved into the stone is the word Khazan. Khazan.
Do the ravens feel like they are of a... I mean, I don't know how I vibe check ravens, but like, I know a Strahd raven when I see one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like, do these give that vibe?
Given your perception check, you can tell that every single one of them is staring at you all.
Okay, noted. Dahlia will cross to the door and knock, knock, knock.
As you walk up to the door,
Ryan, please.
you begin to raise your very, very cold, small hand. You give 1 knock, 2 knock, and before you can even get to that 3rd, the loudest crack of thunder begins to occur as the tower itself feels like it begins to vibrate. I do need Dahlia and Enzo to roll me dexterity saving throws, as from the ground itself, you can see this twisting ice blue lightning begin to circle and encapsulate the tower.
Oh, God. That's a 12 for Dahlia.
13.
As this lightning begins to circle around, starting from the bottom of the earth, driving its way up through the ground itself and spiraling through the tower, it only seems to wrap itself around the outside like it's coating the tower in this protective electricity. The two of you are going to take 27 lightning damage on a failed save as you have entered the lightning for the first time. Dahlia, as you hit that second one, when you go to hit that third, it hits right as the lightning begins to encapsulate the tower. It shocks through your arm and you almost feel it stiffen up and you can't quite move until you are released. As Enzo then gets zapped just being within the proximity of the lightning barrier itself. While you two are up there, can I have the two of you make investigation checks, and I would like to know what the three others are doing as the lightning comes out of the ground.
So I've got a 13.
I've got a 14.
I guess I'll scramble off of Theren at this point.
I'll stand up really quick with her to give her a little like punch on the shoulder.
Ow.
You say, I knock bad. Look at what happens when they knock.
Okay, but you're welcome. What do you think would have happened if you kicked it?
The embossed symbol, Dahlia, that you noticed on the door almost seems like a direction to you. And the two of you specifically, I would like to direct you to our visuals channel, and you can unspoiler episode 29, visual 1. As you can see, I thought we were going to get to this a lot fucking earlier.
Wow, such energy.
Can we go? We need to heal these guys. And so you're here, bend down a little. Your hair, it's sticking up. Hold on. I think it's just sticking like straight up. She just kind of like pats it down. And then as I do that, I'll lay on hands for that many hit points.
For 27?
Dang, full 27.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it back.
Work. Dahlia just
Slay.
kind of sits up and just goes, and like smoke comes out of her mouth. It was totally Home Alone where like you see their skeleton when they're being shot.
Oh my god.
And Dahlia will heal herself. I will give myself a cure wounds at 2nd level. That was a lot of fucking damage. Thanks for that, Ryan.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
As you look down and you begin to touch your skin, you can see it's almost like that permanent scarring that people get after they are hit by lightning, where the veins on your arms are almost tattooed upon yourself.
Wait, that's badass.
Though, as you begin to cure yourself, it begins to slowly sink into itself, and the veins begin to fade. And yes, I've always wanted to get hit by lightning, so I can have that.
Whoa, dude.
Get another tattoo.
We can make it happen, Ryan.
Enzo's healed fully, right?
Enzo's healed fully, unsure on Dahlia.
Dahlia, I'll just do a healing hands. It's an extra 6 points.
Thank
Oh.
you. Thank you. She'll just turn to you like full white frizzy afro after getting shot. Thank you.
I'm standing right next to the caravan. Can I I'm not gonna touch it yet, but I'd like to take a look / listen to see if there's a creature here or if it's similarly rigged.
Roll me investigation for the cart.
Will you allow me to be near her after I see her walking towards it? Knowing what I'd seen in it before, I want to try to keep anything near it protected.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a lucky 13 again.
As you walk towards the cart, you do not hear any sort of noises coming from the inside. None that would indicate that there is a beast inside, like you saw last time as Rictavio was darting his way through Vallaki. You do notice that the door itself does not have a hanging lock. The lock itself is set inside the door. It looks like it could be picked, but it might be tricky.
Theren, you want to break down this door? You can kick this one down.
We know nothing was in it. There's nothing in now.
I don't hear anything.
Are you sure? You know what was in this before, right?
I'll just talk to it if it is.
There's no talking to that.
It was caged the whole time. I didn't see it do anything.
Just be careful, Zielle. It beat the shit out of me.
I mean, okay, if we could lockpick it carefully, but I don't see what the difference is.
Move. This is on you. And I go to kick it.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. This is a little bit off of the ground, so it's a weird height. You kind of have to high kick it, so it might be a little tricky.
12.
You are good to go.
Yes! Successful kick. Did you knock?
I do need a con saving throw.
What? No. It's 8.
Wait, I just remembered something. I'm level 6, and I'm a paladin, which means you have a +2 to your saving throw.
So 10.
Oh, it's still gonna fail. The high kick is a little interesting. The cart itself is meant to be driven by a horse. There are higher wheels that lift it a little higher off the ground than you're normally used to kicking through a normal door of a home. So you have to aim a little high. Your heel comes right down on where that lock embedded into the door was, only to find a needle buried deep in your heel after the door itself was barged in.
Oh, God.
You are going to take 7 poison damage.
Oh, that could have been way worse.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna get worse. You are poisoned for 10 minutes, and while you are poisoned in this way, the creature is paralyzed. So you come down with that heel strike upon the door itself. This needle protrudes out as if someone was trying to forcibly enter the wagon. It digs itself right into the base of your heel as your body begins to slowly freeze. Your leg high in the air.
Theren?
As you are now locked in place, your joints are falling and your balance is losing.
No, I can't catch him. I'm right there. I'll catch him.
You tilt and fall into the arms of Zielle as you are fully just locked in place, though as you hit her arms, you almost go limp.
Oh, God.
But you are so stiff.
Putting you back down. I'm putting you back down, okay?
Can I talk?
Can't move or speak.
Oh, my God.
What happened?
Wait, you are, what is it, paralyzed?
He's
Paralyzed.
paralyzed.
Okay,
He can't
it's okay,
move
I got it.
Theren, you better not be playing a joke on me. I'm like shaking him.
Just to double check, the tower is currently somewhat enclosed in a blue lightning.
Oh, still, yes. It's loud, crackling. You can hear it echo across the mountainous lake water. All the while, Theren is bashing open a wooden door with his heel just to add to the chaos in the mix of everything, who has now gone limp, and Zielle is screaming.
This truly proves that the door is the greatest enemy of all D&D players.
For the first time, Alizzato kind of like looks and sees Dahlia and Enzo by the door, like maybe fixing their hair, and he just kind of stares. And then he looks over and it's just Zielle like violently shaking Theren. And I just sort of kind of like stop and let out a breath. And then I walk over to Zielle. But as I do, I, rip one of my leaves and as I start crumbling it and, sort of like preparing a spell, I say to Zielle, what's crazy is that he was around the first time this happened. But it wasn't like this, but I thought it would have been you, but it doesn't surprise me. So I take the leaf and I press it to Theron's forehead and I cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
So that'll be, you end a condition blinded, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned.
Beautiful. As that
you
leaf
just come
begins
to
to,
as I'm shaking you.
You have Zielle shaking you as Alizzato just calmly comes behind and cradles the back of your head and begins to rub this leaf with his thumb right into your forehead, almost soaking into your skin. And you finally come to as Zielle jolts you up, your head bobbing up and down.
Ah! Are you alive?
And I just go, when Zielle says that, I'll just look at Theren because I'm very close to your head, and I just go, hey, listen, you gotta stop with the doors. And I just give him a sweet kiss on the forehead, and then I pull away.
It's a personal problem.
You're my personal problem, and she'll like help you get up.
To your knowledge, though, Theren and Zielle, the cart is empty. There is no beast inside. I would, in this moment, like to jump back to Dahlia and Enzo, who are by the door.
Dahlia is like looking at this like design on the door, and she's like, I am a smart gal. I can figure this out, right? She is gonna start, Enzo, you just watch her kind of like step back and just like hyper focus on the door, and she's literally just gonna start doing the poses of the stick figures in the order that the design leads toward. So she's like doing all of the like stuff, and she's like kind of in this weird low squat because it looks like some of the stick figures are squatting. So she's just gonna do the little pose. The little poses like in the order of the design and see if that does anything. And really like pause in each pose to be like, did you catch that to the door?
Yeah, just to see if
She's
the,
like,
totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Enzo sees that you're doing that, he's gonna sort of pick up on it and he's gonna sort of like try and give you adjustments based on like looking at the image. Be like, no, I think the arm's a little bit higher on that. Yeah, there it is.
You're right.
That looks.
No, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's perfect.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, Dahlia.
Okay.
Would you like to actively act this out for everybody? Or would you like to roll performance with advantage? I'll give you the choice in case you don't want to act it out in front of the class. If
Okay.
you would like to just roll for a high
The
number
actress?
instead.
I was about to say, Ryan, my degree is musical theater, and I was born for this.
I had to have the option for those who aren't comfortable. That's okay. And I want you to know, I have it up, and I am watching.
Okay. And she's got this low squat going on, and I would say she's gonna enlist Enzo's help in doing this.
Amazing.
Because he's already like giving her pointers. So Christian, if you'd be willing to do it with me,
Yeah, of course.
I think
That's
both
what
of
we
us
like.
are
That's
are
what we
doing
like.
this. Okay. I'm starting top left. This guy.
Dude, listeners, you're gonna love this.
It's
You guys are gonna love
yes,
this.
from an audio only medium. Watch us do this. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Here's number one.
Okay. Are you starting at the top?
She looks like a field goal.
And then we've got boom, the one on the bottom.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And
yeah.
then we've got
Okay.
boom, straight across.
T-pose.
Then we've got boom, straight
Boom.
down T-post, straight
Gremlin.
down.
Goblin
Yeah.
mode. Goblin mode.
Then we've
Yeah.
got this guy,
Oh, we're back to field
which
goal.
is like crab, right? Or
Crab.
field goal. That's much more normal,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
got this guy.
We're Tetris
Is
piece.
Yes, Tetris. Oh, I like
Tetris
it.
piece.
Yeah.
T-pose again,
Yep.
and then straight down, goblin mode. And she'll
Goblin
kind
mode.
of like awkwardly like straighten back up again and just hold this and see if anything happens.
As you both went about the poses itself, you can see the lightning begin to traverse its way into the embossed symbol, and it begins to light up these stick figures one by one. It begins in the top left, it follows the line down to 6 o'clock, up to 12, to 9, to 5, to 1. It follows all the way around the embossed symbol, lighting up these stick figures one by one by one until it begins to turn itself 180 as you hear clicking noises. The lightning itself begins to quickly dissipate and fade as the door clicks and begins to sink into the floor.
Super excited. It's just one hand up, and he's just like, can't believe we did that.
Thank you for your help. We did it.
What did we do? He's sort of like looking into like the gloom, of this. I'm imagining it's very dark on the inside.
It is quite dark on the inside. There's enough light for you to be able to see, but it's pretty dim.
I don't feel comfortable being the first to enter because we were just really pretty severely wounded. So I feel like that's not the best course of action.
I'll go first. You guys are gonna be great at the ball, though.
Thank you.
Zielle, as you get into the first floor, it is strewn with debris. There are a few old crates that stand near the east wall. A torn curtain that you just walked through partially obscures the tower's entrance. You see a square indentation in the center of the floor that contains 4 pulleys attached to these taut iron chains that stretch up through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. And standing next to each chain is a 4-foot-tall, burly clay golem.
Hello.
As you enter, they make no notice of you at all. They seem to be statues.
Dahlia is standing on the platform and is trying to be really small with how she's doing it, but she's like reenacting the arm movements because you said you guys are going to be really good at the ball. So
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So she's like, I got to practice my dance moves. So she's just doing her little
Oh,
thing.
I thought you were trying to activate the golems. You're just practicing dancing.
As Dahlia enters the elevator in the middle of the floor, she begins to go about her dance moves, and the start is field goal, both arms facing upward. Almost like she is directing the golems themselves to ascend. The golems begin to slowly move to 2 hands on each chain in unison and begin to pull.
Guys, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm jumping on the elevator.
Yeah.
It is very robotic in nature. You would have time. You can hear them creak and moan as if they are made of this enormous clay that is being dragged against itself as they grab the iron chains and begin to hoist, all in unison, reaching their hands back up and pulling down.
I imagine I'd start walking, trying to look at the golems as they're doing that, and then Zielle just grabbing my chest and pulling me in. Like, yoink.
The elevator ride is not smooth at all. Its movements are very jerky. The chains give off this wretched squeal as you begin to ascend, and the platform beneath your feet is almost creaking under the weight of the 5 of you. And it begins to ascend as it stops on the 2nd floor. It is just filled with dust and cobwebs. It is an empty room. The wooden floor is badly rotted, partially collapsed in certain areas spread throughout. Nothing seems to be on this floor.
Enzo will turn to Zielle at this point, the brow furrowed again, and say, I know I said I wasn't going to ask any more questions, and I am sorry to already break my promise. Did you say someone lives here?
Someone, stays here at least, or owns this place? Rictavio, you might have met him around town. He's always telling, like, crazy stories at the tavern.
Enzo's face immediately dies a little bit. His, like, eyebrows drop as he realizes who we're talking about and just sort of slow nods with pursed lips. Okay, that makes more sense.
He's not who he says he is.
Well, we figured that.
No, I mean, the tarot, we got a tarot reading, and it was one of the cards. These were the cards that were going to tell us what we had to do to defeat Strahd.
What did you get from your tarot reading? That was, as far as I'm aware, I don't know, I've not had a tarot reading in a long time, but they're not that specific, right? It seems a lot more like generalities, or am I thinking of the wrong thing?
I guess Theren is the only one who can speak to this, but we got individual readings as well, and I'd say they were powerful, at least for myself. Right, Theren? Did you relate to your card at all?
Yes. Yeah. It was, like you said, powerful.
Okay, I'm not going to make you get into that. It seems very emotional, but again, forgive me. What could they have possibly said that made you think that we had to be here?
I don't know how to say this other than that I have a feeling, okay? He gave us this pendant, which helps us fight against the vampires. It helped us do damage to Strahd. It hurt him. Maybe not enough yet, but it did something. It made a difference. And then he said to meet him at the tower. His card was, what was it? It was the card of illusions. It said a man in a carnival wagon is not who he says. This is powerful magic, Enzo.
I believe you. I know. I believe you.
The lightning was powerful, right?
It was bad. That hurt very badly. I thought for a moment I might die, actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Dahlia is sweating, trying to hold her arms up for this long.
Oh, God.
Her tiny, puny, skinny little arms.
Why, I can understand Enzo's reluctance in being here. If we are invited, if we are given magical gifts, which, Enzo, I can attest to, this medallion was quite the game changer upon the feast. But we arrive, we are shocked to surprise, we are put through, some form of peril. So I can only understand the hesitance in climbing higher into this tower. However, I do think, Enzo, that in this situation, I was not present for the tarot reading, but there is something about Rictavio that it intrigues me, the man. I agree with you. Keep a sharp eye and do as you do. Be skeptical of everything. Dahlia, if you put your arms down, will the platform go down or?
I have no idea, but I am worried about that. I do have a bit of an uncomfortable question. She kind of directs it to the group, specifically to Zielle at your necklace. If he has all this power and the ability to hurt or kill Strahd, why hasn't he done it yet?
Ooh.
The elevator gets very quiet.
Does that concern you?
I mean, nothing's as simple as it seems in Barovia.
I'm just concerned if Rictavio isn't what he seems.
I mean, it's not. Strahd invited us to his house later this week, right? It couldn't be. It's not. He wouldn't have given us this.
If Rictavio's not on the level, it'd be a pretty bad day to be Rictavio, I would think. Having this particular group of people show up to your house and decide that's the opportunity to go bad. We'll keep our eyes out, and if he decides to pull a fast one, then we put him 6 feet deep. I don't think there's any questions about that, but I do wonder, like you, Dahlia, why we're only seeing this now. But at the same time, to Zielle's point, nothing is as simple as it seems in Barovia.
Dahlia is going to rotate her arm to enact the second position and see if it brings us up.
As you put both of your arms down, you hear from below the creaking of clay and the iron wrought chains pulling, though you begin to descend. And you go down to the bottom floor.
Nope, wrong way.
Arms immediately back up. No.
And you go back up. The golems halt and begin to pull the opposite way. And as you are locked into the second floor, they stop and move their hands back to normal.
Maybe try it again. I put my hands in the field goal pose to see if it does anything.
As you put your hands in field goal pose, you hear the same noise, the same creaking, and you ascend to the third floor. The third floor, you see time and the elements have destroyed this chamber just like the second floor. You see there's a gash in the northwest wall and a slimy black mildew on the walls. You see outside of the third floor, that open gash in the stone, you see it does lead to that rickety scaffolding. Though, again, the floor here, just like the second floor, is completely rotted, fallen away in certain boards.
Quick, we need someone else to raise their arms up.
Okay, I guess I'll join then.
As arms are raised to initiate the action of up, you begin to ascend. And as you do, you begin to hear the slow crackling of a fire. Unlike the levels below, the top floor is pristine and shows signs of habitation. Although the place reeks of mold and mildew, it has plenty of your typical creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with a matching red leather chair. You see bright tapestries over the windows and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it, as it is currently roaring. You see light entering through the arrow slits, as well as some through the dirt-caked windows. Other features of this room include a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters bend under the weight of the tower roof, which has somehow remained intact. And mounted to the rafters are these pulleys around which hang the iron chains. Atop the bed in the corner of the room in this chamber rests a saber-toothed tiger. Its custom-fitted plate armor strewn about the floor as it makes eyes with you all and then begins to its big stretch as if it was a cat woken up from a nap. By the fireplace stands a refined and striking older gentleman with a commanding presence, roughly in his late 60s. His hair is this silver gray, it's swept back neatly to reveal pointed ears, and his sharp, angular facial features are complemented by a neatly groomed goatee and a small pair of circular glasses that perch just on the tip of his nose, giving him somewhat of an intellectual air to him. He's dressed in elegant and tailored brown coats with high structured shoulders and ornate stitching. The coat has these silver embellishments on the lapels and sleeves, and beneath the coat is just simple white but formal attire. In his left hand, he grips a sleek black cane with a silver tip that he uses to turn himself to face you all. As this man turns to you all, he says, Zielle, Alizzato, you made it. Safe and sound with the medallion in tow as well, I see.
Yes. Does he look anything like Rictavio? Or this is like not even similar facial features?
Not in the slightest.
I am pulling Baron out in front of me.
As you go to pull Baron out, you grab the sword. Do you just place the sword? Where do you place the sword?
Holding it out in front of me.
Handing straight out, the sword itself begins to spark and attempt to glow this purple that you know all too well associated with Baron, though it's struggling. It tries to encapsulate its ethereal form, but it can't quite find the willpower to do so. Your magic seems to be halted.
I don't like that vibe. So I'm going to put my hands on my completely non-magical, just massive metal cleaver-looking sword.
The only thing you hear upon the two of you grabbing the hilts of both of your swords is the low, guttural growl of a saber-toothed tiger upon its bed as it begins to rise to its hind legs.
Oh, I take your hands. I don't want to make the cat mad. I'm sorry, buddy.
How do you know our names? Who told you?
Rictavio, but that form is a little interesting now, isn't it?
Who stands before us now?
You can call me Rudolph. Rictavio is just a stage name I pondered up when I put together that obnoxious disguise.
Why were you disguised?
Easier to go about my business.
Disguised from who?
The Eyes of Strahd, of course.
What is your connection with this beast?
What beast do you speak of?
I point the sword at the saber-tooth.
Ramses. He's just my good little boy.
Ooh. I just Alizzato kind of gets full on like, ooh, I like Ramses. I like Ramses.
Enzo's doing that thing that Christian does when you see a new cat, which is like, okay, I can't act like I like this cat too much or it's not going to like me back. So I have to just kind of be chill. But he keeps like, his eyes keep like glancing over to see if the cat is like, just to see what the vibe is. I'm like, please.
All right, Rudolph. Ramses, what a beautiful and lovely introduction. You can possibly understand our trepidation upon stepping onto your private quarters. We didn't see you like this back in Vallaki. There are some of us here that are looking at you for the first time, and you are just not what we were expecting. So let's just all settle down.
Can I ask a question? Rudolph, great to meet you.
I was curious about the two additional persons into your group. It's lovely to meet the two of you. I hope I was at least of some assistance back in Vallaki.
Honestly, could not tell you. I remember you being rather boisterous. That's about it. I will also say that your front door is a little tricky. And considering we had an invitation, you might have turned off the lightning storm.
Well, it's sadly not of my doing, and I was in a haste coming here. I didn't know when you would be here. I only saw Zielle in a rush, and I honestly didn't know if you would even survive, so didn't know if it would be a day, 2. It remains up. It's not my doing. You and I both know Barovia's a shitstorm.
We do. Next time, if you invite someone to a magically guarded place that you don't control, leave a note. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave a note. We wouldn't have done that if you just left a piece of paper that said, don't knock.
The problem is, you can't touch the door.
We definitely did.
Oh, speaking of Vallaki, how did everything go about? What was the result of the vermin?
We got rid of as many as we could. Maybe gave Strahd a little sunburn as well. And she twirls the pendant around her finger.
I knew it would do you good. The city still stands.
Yes. The church is sacred ground again, so at least there's that.
That's a plus.
Why did you give this to us?
Oh, you needed it to stay alive, and I need you alive.
And why did you not come and use it yourself?
I don't want to die either. I'm much more capable than you are, no offense to one and all, but company here could use some work.
Wow. That's all Alizzato says. He just kind of like looks back like, wow.
I love Alizzato. Who put the enchantment on the tower if not you? Rudolph?
Some being named Kazan, who I suppose inhabited this tower before me. No magic works here, as he holds up his hand and you see a brass signet ring with a blue gem inside. This is what I use for the disguise, and as you can see, it doesn't work in the premises. Once you enter the tower itself, no magic can be utilized.
What is it that you do?
I kill monsters. I need Zielle, Theren, and Dahlia. Can I have a history check, please?
I don't like how you said that.
13.
14.
24.
Dahlia, when Rudolph says, I kill monsters, the name mixed with the title triggers a story you heard before you got to Barovia. You heard it in a tavern once with your old party as you were traveling across Avrosa. The name Rudolph von Richten, a world-renowned monster hunter. His tales stretch far and wide of his immense takedowns.
Hearing that I kill monsters, Dahlia's face like lights up and she just kind of says his name back to him. She just goes, Rudolph von Richten.
You've heard of me.
Of course I've heard of you. What are you doing here?
I assume what you all came here to do, or you found yourself here like a sad sack of potatoes and wandered into Barovia. I'm here to kill Strahd.
Wow.
Thank God.
Just waiting for the perfect moment to kill the perfect monster.
What makes you want to kill him?
Why wouldn't I? The embodiment of pure evil and monster known throughout the land. His word and name even caught me out in Avrosa. It's not every day that a name can traverse plains.
I'll slowly kind of like inch closer to Rudolph. And are you aware if Strahd knows of your capabilities to disguise yourselves in the flesh?
Oh, I am almost guaranteed that he knows of my existence here upon this plane.
Are you going to the ball?
Rictavio got an invitation. Rudolph didn't. The fact that one disguise got an invitation so quickly made me feel his eyes were peering.
Yeah, his eyes be doing that.
There were ravens outside. 7 of them.
Wait, 7?
Yes.
7 was a secret. The poem. There's a poem about ravens. 7 is a secret, never to be told. What can we do? What's the plan? Please.
I'm working on it. It's been a long time in the making, and I myself cannot beat Strahd alone. I've seen what he is capable of, what he's done to the land, what he's done to the weather. He is much more powerful than I anticipated, but I can help. I assume you all want to end Strahd's reign upon this plane. I myself share that same goal along with my pupil who is in training. She is currently out gathering more information. She's trying to find locations for me.
Your pupil's name, perhaps?
Esmeralda. I'm hoping that she has more information on a book. A book I found to hold secrets upon Strahd's birth, his deal, how he got to where he is, how he got as powerful as he is.
The village! She looking for the village.
I know of not a village. She is just trying to find any sort of lead.
I feel like Zielle quite literally has little notes like I do of the game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think there's just, like she's got this stuff scribbled down. Like, well, she totally has a journal. I think it just kind of doubles as her like notes forever. So we'll just say she's pulled it out. I'm gonna flip back to my tarot card page, which I have here bookmarked. The conjurer, the dead village drowned by a river ruled by evil, knowledge, history, and understanding the enemy. That's what the tarot reader told us. Oh God, what's her name? Did I write down her name? Madame Ava.
He quickly shifts his cane over to his desk and grabs a paper and begins to scrawl upon it, trying to recite exactly what you said back onto the words of the paper.
That's why we came here. You were in the reading as well.
Me?
Yes, a man in a carnival wagon who is not who he says.
Well, that read me dead to rights now, didn't it?
She read us all dead to rights. She just to filth. Absolutely.
That is my existence here upon Barovia. So, yes, and I had been watching you all since you entered Vallaki. Strangers as geared and capable as you don't come around every day. I had a feeling you would be useful. Apologies for following you in the night.
Oh, that's okay. We followed you too, right? And she looks over to
He chuckles.
the ones who did that.
Fair. I have spent a lot of time gathering information throughout Barovia, trying to gather potential relics, potential weapons, potential allies to take down Strahd. The first of which is around your neck, Zielle. The other is supposedly the book, and I've heard of a sword. Heard of a sword upon Argynvost Holt.
Yes, that was in the reading too.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to retrieve it.
The only other thing was the artifact, which is someone who will help. An entertaining man with a monkey who's more than he seems, but you're the man with the monkey. We brought your monkey!
You have Piccolo.
He's like on Dahlia's back or something, I think, or in her bag or
Just
something.
crawls out of the bag. My boy. As he reaches his hand out, Piccolo screams in excitement and leaps off of Dahlia's shoulder. He begins to reach up and scratch, one hand still on the cane. Oh, I'm so sorry I left you with that blasted toy maker.
I mean, sorry, the last card. Wait, that would mean Blinsky he's the only other one who's had the monkey, unless there's a lot of monkey owners around Barovia.
Did you not find me entertaining? Were my stories not enough for you?
You can't be both cards.
Says who?
I don't know, that's just not fair that you get more than one. We all got one card.
What if I'm special?
He did say he was special.
Do you not find me special, Zielle?
My card got me a call with a goddess and a goddamn demon, and it was still one card.
He raises his eyebrow slightly at the demon portion of that sentence.
As does Enzo.
Well, Rudolph, it seems that you have a lot of answers to what Zielle is revealing to you, which is good, but I think I still sort of find myself. The reason you asked for us to come here was for you to have us reach the sword that you're speaking of. Would you like to join us, or are we? Is there a path that you're taking that you wish for us to follow?
The quicker we gather the relics, the better. I must wait for Esmeralda to come back while I gather more info. I have research to do. As he nudges his head towards the desk, and you see a splattering of open books splayed throughout the desk. If you would like to get the sword, I know for a fact it is in Argynvost Holt. That my research has shown. I know quite a bit about the castle itself, but I know one thing is certain, and we need that sword. Strahd must die by its blade.
What has stopped you from going and getting it yourself?
Numbers. Esmeralda is caught up in her own research, her own training. One man, sadly, can't take over the House of the Old Order of the Silver Dragon. It's a bit too much for one person to handle.
If we were to, say, attend this ball as guests of Strahd, is there anything you know of the castle or anything we might find inside it while we're there that we can use to our advantage? That was our intent, to not shy away and to perhaps find something to our advantage, but if you have any further insight.
I'm hoping that The book might help, though I don't know if Esmeralda will be able to find it, especially since you all seem to know a little bit more about it than I do. Sadly, I have only entered the premises once. I didn't make it too far.
And what of the people who work for Strahd? Do they have any choice? Do you know?
Strahd is a being that thrives himself upon his charm, his manipulation. You can say that they are working under their own free will, but there might be something deeper down holding them there. Whether it's Stockholm Syndrome or his magical spells and charm that he puts over people. I've seen him be able to do it from miles away. A normal human being sat in front of me, immediately snaps. Fangs and all.
I don't think he was that charming.
You maybe not. For the common folk, he's everything. He's the weather, he's the air, he's the land itself. He is the ancient, he is the land.
And he has lingered for far too long.
I couldn't agree more.
So we came all the way here to meet you and got past your scary tower door to have you tell us to do the thing that we were already planning on doing?
Well, to be fair, Zielle, I had no idea that was your intentions.
Well, maybe you should ask next time before you drive away.
And maybe you all shouldn't snoop upon my cart when it's parked safely in the RSX stockyard.
Okay, that wasn't all of us.
That was me.
If it helps, I have history of Argynvost Holt.
Okay.
But aside from that, I don't know too much.
What type of history do you know?
What resided there prior, how it came to be, and a potential lead afterwards. Though what might reside there, I don't know.
Could you please elaborate on that?
Go on.
The devil himself was not born here. Strahd was a lavish prince, a fierce conqueror. He settled in Barovia. His conquest led him to the valley. After slaughtering its nobility and innocence, he decided to park himself here. And he built that. As he points out the east-facing window, and you can see Castle Ravenloft's silhouette high in the air atop its hill, far in the distance. Though the last thing that Strahd expected to find upon coming through the valley was a silver dragon. The dragon known as Argynvost, or at least that's what he called him before Strahd overtook Barovia. Lord Argynvost is what he called himself in his human form. He mingled amongst the common people. He didn't lair here specifically because of its beauty. He knew of a place called the Amber Temple. It's supposedly a repository of evil. Argynvost wanted to make sure that whatever was trapped inside the Amber Temple wouldn't be allowed to escape, so he built Argynvost Holt, his mansion, close by. Like many silver dragons, Argynvost was extraordinarily wealthy, and he was comfortable living amongst humans disguised as one of them. And he used his resources to attract other champions of good, and valorous knights flocked to the valley to join his cause, his prestigious Order of the Silver Dragon. And this all occurred before the fog, when Barovia was still part of the mortal realm. Though they're all but a story to be told throughout taverns these days, it seems. Only those who were initiated into the order were ever told about Lord Argynvost's true form. During the war that led Strahd and his foes here, the Order of the Silver Dragon drove away those searching for the Amber Temple. But the early victories, sadly, did not win the war. Even with Argynvost on their side, the knights were ultimately overwhelmed when Strahd's reinforcements entered the valley, swept through, and they themselves found the location of the Amber Temple. Those forces slew the last of the knights and battled the dragon inside Argynvost Holt afterwards. I know that Argynvost was slain. Strahd hacked its corpse personally to pieces, stripped it to the bone, and transported it to Castle Ravenloft as a trophy. I'm sure you will all sadly see the head of Argynvost at the masquerade. Let's just hope no one's wearing it. Though, however, today the Amber Temple still stands and is said to be home of evil incarnate. It is rumored to be the very place that provided Strahd his eternal damnation. That's one thing my pupil is also looking into. Since the dragon's death, though, Argynvost Holt has become just a haunted rubble of a ruin. It was a former bastion of nobility and light turned into a place of desolation and unrest. Some do say that a new order had tried to gain answers about Argynvost and the Order of the Silver Dragon. There were rumors they even tried to hunker down inside the mansion and make it their base of operations, that they did so for a while. But it seems the spirits of Argynvost's order would not allow them to do so peacefully, which is a predicament I have been trying to deal with, as Argynvost Holt holds the key to victory for us against Strahd, the Sword of Sunlight.
And later in that little monologue, Zielle kind of like put her hand over her mouth like she's casually thinking or something. I want to message Theren. I think we need to ask him about Crude. Evil incarnate.
I was already planning on it.
There is still a lot to be known about Argynvost Holt, the Amber Temple, what other relics we may need to take down the devil himself, but I hope a little history lesson could potentially help you in your endeavors.
And why is it there that he decides to house the sword itself?
That is where the Order left it. Strahd and his reinforcements, his forces could not find it. They were unsure of its location within the mansion. I was even unsure if they knew it existed to begin with.
And you have not visited it yourself?
I have not been there, no.
How did you gain all this information? How have you learned so much on this man?
There's a lot to do when you're stuck in hell for a few years. Research, traveling, digging up graves if I must. It all comes with time and knowledge. Though there are still pieces of the puzzle to be seen.
And your soul has remained yours since your arrival here.
Where else would it go?
Only the devil himself knows.
How do we not know he controls you as well?
If he did, would I be leading you to the pieces to kill the man?
Perhaps you would, so he could control them himself. Keep them from the ones that want it, to use against him, like us, for instance.
That is true, and a valid concern. Though I feel my reputation that your companion knows of, I think it might speak for itself, as he nudges over to Dahlia.
Dahlia. Her name is Dahlia.
Dahlia.
And that's Enzo.
You know nothing else of greater evils in this area.
Only that there are still rumors about the Amber Temple. Esmeralda should have more knowledge on that, as well as the book upon her return. What lies inside I do not know, though the stories have told of something horrifying. I'm unsure if even I want to venture forth into the Amber Temple.
Something or someone?
At this point, who knows?
If it could damn Strahd, what chance do we have?
Now you see my concern as well. What could grant someone such power?
Okay, so where do we meet you and Esmeralda? Or do we have to come back to this place because it's quite out of the way? Or you could just come back into town after, I don't know, in a week when we get back from Argynvost Holt.
That's probably for the best. I've been meaning to make my way back into Vallaki anyway to continue my research. There is a potential ally amongst the Vallakians that I'm curious about. I suppose I could find myself there and deal with Rictavio a little bit more.
For what it's worth, he's got some truly catchy stories. Some great tunes as well.
Wait, were they all real? Were the stories real?
Oh, most of them, yes.
Oh my god, Tanis? She just shakes her fist at the sky.
Aside from the part about being part dragon, that is...
Right.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody truly believed that when Rudolph.
The kids love it, you know.
No.
Oh, come on.
He's just backing up. Alizzato. He's like, just shaking his head, pursed lips, like, no.
I suppose I can meet you back in Vallaki. I'll wait here for Esmeralda. We'll go over our research. I'll let her know that I was finally able to gather you here. Figure out what our next plan of action is. If you guys meet me back in Vallaki with the sword, we can go from there. I should have a lead, I hope.
Say in our travels we possibly run into Esmeralda. How would we know what she looked like or who she was?
Long, curly black hair. I promise you won't miss her.
And how long has she been gone? How long have you been waiting?
A week or so. I trust her. I wouldn't bring her along as my pupil if I didn't. The amount of people begging for a spot at my side is immense. It takes someone special to gather my attention, and she has done so. She's bright, she's cunning, she's swift, and she knows how to wield a blade.
I see.
Well, in that case, I guess we'll see you on the other side of the devil and evil incarnate.
Rudolph tips his cane to you all. Well, I wish you the best of luck. And is rudely interrupted by a loud yell. Little pig, let me in!
No, don't do this to me.
And for today, that's gonna be a wrap.
Oh,
Okay.
Brian Cobb.
Ryan! What do you mean? I need the little pigs! Where are the little pigs?
Little pig, little
I'll show you a little pig. I'll show you a little pig.
I'm excited for that.
It is time to sign out. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you next week. We got one thing off the checklist and another added on. So who knows when it'll end. We'll see ya. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Never ends. Never. Who the fuck is that?